Hi, I'm Carl Erickson. We're out here at Tier 1 Group. I'm with Chad Moorman, the head driving instructor. Now, out here they do a lot of really awesome austere vehicle repairs. And one of my personal favorites, because I DB tires a lot while I'm out off-roading, is how to re-bead a tire that's when the bead has come off of it. Chad, you've got a neat technique of doing this with starter fluid. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
All right. So, like Carl was saying, we're going to basically be using some sort of fluid to reseat the bead on the tire. There are other videos out there that you can see of it, but there are some considerations you need to take into account, especially if you're doing this downrange. One of the main ones is if we look at the core that goes into the valve stem, so where you put your air into your tire, if we have time and if we can, we want to try to remove it. One is once we do this, a lot of the times this will blow out, and if you're not carrying spares, then you're going to constantly lose air pressure out of your valve stem. Two is if I do it in there once or twice, then this red ring that's on here is nothing but rubber. It'll end up burning it up, and then we'll constantly get an air leak out of the valve stem. It can be taken out with a pair of needle nose pliers or Leatherman, something like that. It simply just screws out and screws in. So we already have it out of our tire.
Right here.
Yep. So we've done a couple of different tests on different fluids that could actually reseat it. We tried, this is just simply starting fluid, which works kind of the best. Got carb cleaner, which works good. We've tried gasoline, hairspray, and some of those other things. They just don't create enough of a combustion to reseat the beads, especially when you start talking about your bigger off-road, thick plywall tire and stuff like that. But it simply is spraying some in there in a certain way, lighten it, and then letting it re-bead. So we'll kind of go through that now. So the first thing you need to do is when I come up here, you can see it's already off the bead all the way around. I want to break the bead to make sure I get some of this inside of the tire. Now, how much is too much? If your tire is bouncing off the ground, that's too much. It doesn't take a whole lot. You're looking at 2 to 3 seconds burst inside for a tire about this size. If you put too much in there, it can make a tire jump. If you're standing over it, it hits you, get hurt. It can mess up the insides of the tire, burn the insides of the tire up if you have too much in there. So we're simply going to push down on the bead, spray some in there. Once we do that, we're going to spray a half moon around, and then I'm going to take a tail and lead it out and off to the side. Reason being is I don't want to light it over this if I don't technically have to. You can do this with the tire still on your truck, okay? Just jack it up, do the technique we're about to do, and then light it, and it will be seated on the truck. That way you're not taking it off. But we got it off here for simply being able to see it a little bit better. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and do the steps. Sound good to you, Carl?
Yep. You want me to hold it down?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Inside so the camera can see it a little better.
All right, so 2 to 3 seconds spray inside. Good. Once he's got his foot off, take your foot off. We're going to half moon it around. From there, all I'm going to do is draw a tail out, take the can, sit it down off to the side, light it. If it doesn't re-bead, I'm going to come up and step on it. It re-beads, and now it's sucking the air in, sucking it out. You'll see it concave here in just a second. And that's when it's sucking the air in. Now, a big misconception about sucking this air in is everybody thinks, well, I'll take the core of the valve stem and put it in there now, and I'll have enough air pressure to drive on. Well, that's not really the case. One is the air that's escaping when you're trying to catch it is very hot. Burn up your hands a lot, it'll burn gloves up, stuff like that. It's not worth it. Once you do this, you do still have to have a method of reinflating your tire. Carl, you got anything
That's
else?
awesome. Again, this can work anywhere. Like you mentioned, you can actually do this on the tire or do this to the tire while it's on the vehicle. Great technique. We've done this hundreds of times.
Yeah, I actually have one where we were downrange, ended up getting so many flats in the tire, too much stuff in it, to where I didn't have enough plugs, or no amount of plugs I would have fixed it. So we DB-beaded the tire, I filled it full of sand, packed it full of sand, re-beaded it, and essentially made my own improvised run flat.
That's awesome. Hey, now, you seen the video? You can be one of those internet ninjas if you want to, all right? But you're not gonna learn anything just watching these videos. You wanna learn these techniques for real, you come down to Tier 1 group and you come through a real course with a professional instructor. That's how you master this stuff. Remember, knowledge is power. Knowledge can be your best weapon. Comment to the video, and by all means, if you're interested in the course, reach out to Tier 1 group, we'll get you signed up.